Hey, how's it going, Brandon? It's me, Zach, and we're back here with another video. This video, we're going to be going with your Pikachu and PikaRom deck, as you can see here. Even though if the arts are a little bit different, we are going to be playing against the Spiritomb deck profile that we played against, that we showed in the last video. And as I said in the last video, this is going to be the last video of the series, so I hope you enjoyed it so much and that you've learned a lot about it. There's a lot of different decks to cover here. So there's definitely a lot of things that you likely learned. So that being said, I hope you're coming out on this at the other side as a great player with your Pikachu PikaRom GX deck. And as always, if you have any questions about it or any of the decks that we featured in these videos, feel free to ask me. And if I'm not immediately available, be sure to ask your brother Ryan. I'm sure he knows a lot about these decks. He's been playing very well for a while. So that being said, we will be playing against our great friends at Rare Candy. One of the best players on their channel has agreed to make these videos with me, so shout outs to them for helping us out with these videos. That being said, I don't want to waste too much of our time. Let's jump into the challenge with Rare Candy. So, choosing your exact deck, and we're going to be playing against the exact Spiritomb deck that we played in the that we showed in the last video. Okay, we lost the flip. Rare Candy is going to choose who goes first. That's not too bad. We might be able to get off a turn 1 full blitz here. And we did get a Jirachi, and we did get out a Tapu Koko Prism Star. So not bad on us. We just really like to get some lightning energies in our discard pile. So we do need to watch out for their Buzzwole, Aerodactyl GX, and their Mew. But they started with a Spiritomb. We'll see exactly how it goes. And of course, our opponent had to get a Mew out as soon as possible. There's a Rainbow Energy, and this deck can be inconsistent at times, so they might not have a lot of stuff going on here. But they did get a turn 1 supporter. That's not bad at all. Okay, they're just building up some damage counters with Building Spite. And here we could actually get a Lightning Energy with our Volkner. We can get out a Pokemon Communication so we can get some other cool stuff going on. Maybe we can get a turn 1 knockout on that Spiritomb. Let's go Electromagnetic Radar, discarding a Lysander Labs and an Electro Power. Let's get out a Zerora and a PikaRom. Let's put this Pokemon Communication away. Let's put this PikaRom back into our deck. Let's try to get out a Zapdos turn 1 knockout on that Spiritomb. That'd be pretty nifty if you asked me. Let's get a Lightning Energy. Actually, let's get a Lightning Energy in our discard pile for that Zapdos. Let's go Zerora. Let's go Electro Power. And let's go Dedenne. Okay, we did get an Escape Board and we did get an Energy. So good on us. We can use Stellar Wish. Stellar Wish seems like a grand plan to grab a Volkner for next turn. Pretty awesome stuff there. We can go Escape Board, and we will take a quick knockout on our opponent's Spiritomb. We'll draw our prize card there. So our opponent's probably just going to get set up with another Professor Elm's Lecture, and hopefully they aren't able to knock out this Zapdos. So there's a Frostlass. They could put up to 7 damage counters and hit themselves. So maybe they will be able to get that knockout. And they need to put 6 damage counters in order to knock out our Zapdos. Okay, so we're all knocked out. That's cool. Let's put out a Jirachi. We have 2 lightning energies in our discard pile now. We could build up a Raichu and a Alolan Raichu, and we can get those 2 energies on those Pokemon. Let's go ahead and do that. 1 energy, 2 energy. And we have 2 ways to get this attack off. I think it's probably better for us just to go Volkner, getting an energy switch and a lightning energy instead of us trying to go for a Stadium Nav and trying to get ahead for our Thunder Mounted Prism Star. I like secured odds when it comes down to it. We could still use our Stellar Wish here. So we'll grab a Cynthia for next turn. So we're live for next turn. Lightning energy here. Let's go energy switch. And I don't really want to risk it. We are about to go into our opponent's Tag Bolt, or into their Sledgehammer turn. They have used 2 energies that they can attack with. They still have 2 unit energy prisms and 2 unit energy fighting type energies and 2 rainbow energies left. Maybe they have some prize, so maybe a little bit less. I don't really want to custom catcher and knock out that Mew because Frostlass can still do some decent damage to us. So let's just go full blitz, hit that Frostlass, and then we'll put 3 onto our Raichu and Alolan Raichu. We could have played out of Lysander Labs, but I'm going to wait until our opponent plays a Shrine of Punishment out, maybe. And hopefully our opponent doesn't have a Buzzwole here. Okay, they're just going to go with a Cynthia there. Okay, and they've attached an energy, so we know for sure we are not going to get hit with a... Sorry, we're not going to get hit with a Sledgehammer this game. See what our opponent grabs there. Okay, so they hit us for a cool 70 damage. We just want to knock out this Mew. Let's rip that Mew out there. Attaching an extra energy to Pikachu Zekrom so we can get ready for a Tag Bolt. Let's go ahead and Lysander Labs it up. So our opponent's going to struggle. Let's go Cynthia here. You can see we're in an okay spot. Just going to go retreat here since we have Zorora in play. Go ahead and Tandem Shock, knock out that Mew. And bringing us down to 3 prize cards left in this game. And again, we don't need to worry about our opponent's Sledgehammer. The last thing that we might need to worry about in this matchup would be our opponent's Aerodactyl GX if they were able to pull that off. So they're going to use Anguish Cry for a solid 100 damage there. Let's go ahead and attach this energy over to our Pikachu Zekrom GX. We don't really have a lot of options here in terms of us because we did not get an extra energy. We don't have a way to move an energy. So let's just actually go ahead and Tandem Shock. If our opponent's unable to get a Mew out again with something like Brock's Grits, we are able to just win the game naturally with Tag Bolt GX and attaching a Lightning Energy. So there's a Building Spites. So if our opponent doesn't play a Brock's Grit out this turn, they are not able to get Mew. We have a Lightning Energy in our hand. We Tag Bolt and draw our last 2 prize cards. So no matter what, unless our opponent somehow gets out a Reset Stamp, which I don't think the deck plays, from what I remember, they have 0 chance to win this game. So there's an Anguish Cry. You can see that the Lysander Lab stuck throughout the entire game. There's a Lightning Energy. Let's just go ahead and retreat. Tag Bolt GX, knocking out that Snorunt, and drawing us our last 2 prizes in the game. So that was a pretty good game for us. Our opponent didn't get Sledgehammer out. That could be incredibly scary for us to face against. So let's jump into another game with the deck. I will shoot over another challenge to Rare Candy TCG, and we will let them go first this game. Okay, and we're just waiting for them to accept our challenge. So they're calling the coin flip. I won the coin flip. I'll double check. I'll message Rare Candy right now. Do they want to go first? Okay, and we would not like to go first because Rare Candy wants to go first. We actually got a pretty cool start here with the Jirachi, and since our opponent is going first, we will put down a Zeraora GX. Okay, Pokemon Communication. Let's see what our opponent does here. Okay, there just looks like they're getting set up a little bit. Okay, building Spite there. There's another energy, and it looks like we're in a pretty good spot here. So let's go ahead and try to go something with Thunder Mountain. We can't really get off a huge attack here, so let's go off with, or can't really do too much with our hands, so let's try to get Cynthia going. We did get a Zapdos. So let's play this out carefully. Let's go Electromagnetic Radar. Since we're going to be discarding this hand anyways, let's discard a Custom Catcher and a Jirachi. Looks like we'll be able to knock out that Jirachi pretty quickly this game. Let's get a Zeraora and a Dedenne out. That seems correct. We just need to try to get attaching energy to our Pokemon, but we are going to be taking a knockout this turn. Let's go Stellar Wish. There's no point of us grabbing anything here. because it doesn't matter. Actually, let's grab an Electro Power, since their Pokemon have way less HP than normal. There's an Electro Power. Let's put Zapdos down. That down. That down. Let's go switch, send up Zapdos, and let's go for Dedenne GX. Wow, we actually did not get an energy at all. We have not seen an energy this game at all. Absolutely wild. Let's go Thunderous Assault anyways and get that knockout. Hopefully our opponent's hand is not very special and we're able to win the game next turn. There's a Goomy, Lysander Labs, and they did get out a Professor Elms. So not a bad hand at all from our opponents, especially considering what their hand was a turn ago. And this is what I'm saying with the deck being a little inconsistent at times. Probably going to use Building Spite on their benched one as well. They're going to hit us for 100 damage. We're still not knocked out. That's completely fine. And of course we had to just top deck an energy there. But let's do this. Let's go Volkner. Let's go for an Electro Power and an energy. We could just knock out that Spiritomb pretty quickly on our opponents. So Electro Power, and there's a knockout. You can get knockouts in different ways in this matchup than normally expected. They're just going to send up a Goomy, probably as a sacrifice, and hopefully we can get around this turn without our opponent drawing another prize card. Or our opponent getting out a Sledgehammer. Looks like they're stuck in a dead hand here. So that's okay. Let's go for a Volkner. For a Lightning Energy. And an Electro Power. That's another way for us to get another knockout. We can get around that Goomy quite quickly. There's an Escape Board onto our Jirachi. There's the Electro Power to get the knockout. And you can see that the Zapdos is just absolutely tearing it up. Probably going to get a switch here. Nope. We did get another Electro Power, though. I'm not sure what our opponent's going to send up. Probably a Blitzel. It's a really weird choice. It did evolve into a Zebstrika, though. Maybe they'll be able to get an attack off with Spiritomb. See if they can attach an energy. There's a Shrine. That's amazing because now we can actually get free retreat with our Jirachi. They can do some damage here. Building Spite. Did they get the energy, though? They did not. So our Zapdos is actually going to draw another prize card. So there's a Lightning Energy for our Pikachu Zekrom. We're just going to keep our hand as is. There's an Electro Power. There's a super good knockout. I guess we shouldn't have put down 2 Zerora. That's probably our bigger mistake in this matchup. But we were having energy struggles anyways. I just noticed that. Forgot that we started with Zerora when I played one down. There's a Lightning Energy. We know we have a switch hidden in one of our last couple prize cards. And we will take our Shrine damage again. Damage, 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 damage. Ah, they're evolving into an Aerodactyl. That's super interesting, actually. But they probably don't want to use their GX attack on knocking out knocking out a Zapdos. So, see what our opponent decides to do. And their Aerodactyl's also going to take damage from Shrine of Punishments. There's a lightning energy there. At this point, there's really no point of us not playing a Cynthia. Our hand's not that great. Let's go ahead and free retreat this into a Jirachi. Hopefully get something with Stellar Wish. There's going to be a... Let's grab a Stadium Nav. That seems like a good one. And I'm pretty sure we just win the game next turn if our opponent leaves that Aerodactyl there. So we'll just pass and let it build up some more damage. We'll win the game by attaching an energy and getting an energy switch with Volkner to knock out this Aerodactyl. We have not played an energy switch, so we know that we have an energy switch in our deck for sure. We know that switch is one of our prize cards. So we'll see exactly what our opponent decides to do here. Okay, it looks like they might just try to get the knockout with their Spiritomb. In that case, we'll be getting the knockout with our Zapdos. So I think we have our opponent in a checkmate position, considering their deck does not play Custom Catcher. So that's a lot of damage for a Spiritomb, but it's a little bit late for our opponent. They got a really tough setup this game. Let's send up this Pikachu Zekrom. Let's attach an energy to it. Pretty sure we can't get double Custom Catcher. But you want to know what? Maybe we will. Let's go Pokemon Communication, putting this away. Let's just go for Tapu Koko Prism Star. And let's Tapu Koko Prism Star it up. We actually have no energies in there anyways, so it doesn't matter, just in case they knock out that Zapdos. Let's go ahead and grab a Lightning Energy and probably just an Energy Switch. That sounds pretty good. Retreat, send up Zapdos, Thunderous Assault, and no matter what our opponent does, we should be able to just go Tag Bolt for 200 damage, knocking out any of their Pokemon. Even if they don't, I think we're in a really good position, because this deck does not play Custom Catcher, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't play Reset Stamp. So looks like our opponent might be trying to go for one last attack, a Wild Dive, to do some extra damage. They'll be able to knock out Zapdos to draw 2 prize cards total, but looks like we're able to just steal this game from our opponent. So they did 80 because of resistance. And then we'll just send up our busted PikaRom. Even if we had 3 prize cards left, I think we would have been able to take it. So not to kind of slow roll our opponent, I just kind of want to see exactly what we could do this game. It was a possibility. So let's go ahead and go Electromagnetic Radar, discarding Lysander Labs. Let's grab a Raichu and a Lone Raichu and a Dedenne. So we'll try to do this the best way we possibly can. Let's go like that. Let's go Dance of the Ancients. And this, of course, would be if they didn't have a Mew on their bench, but just to see exactly what our deck could do. Let's go Energy Switch from here to here. See if there's anything with Stadium Nav. Nothing there anyways. Let's just go Dedenne GX and hopefully we can get an Energy Switch or a Tag Switch. So we were able to get an Energy Switch. So if they didn't have a Mew on their bench, we could knock out 2 Pokemon if necessary. And actually we wouldn't have been able to because of Aerodactyl GX. But whatever, we did get enough energies to get past Aerodactyl GX's ability and get the knockout there. So even though we won those 2 games, we will give Rare Candy a grace period of playing a 3rd game. Let's see exactly how the matchup goes. We will let them go first this game. So we lost a coin flip anyways. That's completely fine. Maybe we'll get a rough start just as our opponent has. And we got no basics there. It's a little bit of a weird start, but not the worst. Could be actually really good for us. We might be able to get off a turn 1 full blitz with his hands. Okay, Professor Elm's Lecture, one of the better starts that our opponent can actually have in this matchup. They got a Mew out. Okay, let's see what we can do here. So let's go Volkner, and let's just search for an electromagnetic radar. Let's go electromagnetic radar, getting a couple lightning energies into our discard pile. For a Dedenne, and let's just grab a Pikachu Zekrom. We have Tapu Koko and Thunder Mountain in the deck. Awesome. So we need to get a pretty amazing start here to make sure we get it, but we are able to get out a Tapu Koko Prism Star. Let's see if Custom Catcher gets us anything good. Oh no, we got another Lightning Energy. We did not want to discard that many. That hand was absolutely awful for us to draw into. So we're going to go ahead and give our opponent the big Passeroo. No Jirachi, no PikaRom, no nothing. So seeing what our opponent's doing here to get set up. So they're just going to hit us for a quick 70, some more damage with that. Okay, let's get out a Raichu there. That seems okay. Let's go ahead and Cynthia here, hopefully getting some more options on what we can do. So there's that. We are able to Dance with the Ancients. We have plenty of energies to power up our Pokemon. Not only that, we did get out of Thunder Mountain. We can go Electromagnetic Radar, discarding both of these cards to grab a Dedenne and another card that we want to discard. But you want to know what? We probably want to try to get our chance of drawing something with Custom Catcher, so let's see if we can get it. Those are actually two cards that I'm happy with discarding. Let's drop that and draw some more cards. Let's get a Lightning Energy for sure. Wow, I wasn't expecting getting that many Lightning Energies. Let's retreat. And let's go into a full Blitz. Powering up this Raichu and Alolan Raichu. And there's an Electro Power. So this deck's a little rough because, or this match is a little rough because we've already used two Custom Catchers. Our opponent's going to use that because it has free retreats with their escape board. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to play out this turn. There's a Reds challenge. Good on our opponents. Okay, Hustle Belts. Getting all ready there. Getting all set up. That's a decent bit of damage from a Spiritomb there. Okay, so they're probably going to get a knockout with a Buzzwole. So let's just keep it simple and give them only two prize cards. Let's retreat this, send that up, and let's get off a simple attack. Plasma Fist getting a knockout. So instead of our opponent drawing three prize cards with their Sledgehammer turn, which we're readily giving them access to, they are only going to be able to draw two this turn. Okay, they did get the energy to attack with Sledgehammer. And we could just kind of go reverse of the other matchups, maybe getting out a Zapdos, which we still have in our deck. We haven't used it yet. Attacking with our other Pokemon since this deck doesn't play Custom Catchers. My apologies. There's another Hoopa for them to attack with. Another Spiritomb. There's that sledgehammer that I've been talking about all game. So we don't have a Zorora anymore, so we don't have free retreat. So we do have to be careful about that. But let's just send up this Raichu and Alolan Raichu. Because we can always use Lightning Ride GX if we really want to. Okay. Got a Lysander Labs there. Let's try to shut down our opponent's tools. Let's just reset stamp our opponent into nothing, hopefully. But they still have Zebstrika, so they're not really ever getting nothing, right? Let's attach an energy to this Pikachu and Zekrom. And let's go ahead and play a Cynthia. So we did get out of Zapdos. I don't think our opponent would be able to knock out a Dedenne. So let's just go ahead and Lightning Ride with this Raichu, Alolan Raichu. That's a knockout. We don't need all the energies. And let's just send up this Dedenne, which our opponent hopefully cannot knock out. Even if they can, I think we'll still be in a great position. Okay, Building Spite. How many Hustle Belts have they played? They've played one. Do they have any in their discard pile? So they don't have any other Hustle Belts. We don't need to worry about Spiritomb doing too much damage. And they've already used 3 of their energies that they can attack with. They're probably just going to hit us with 140 and try to snipe us later with a Mew to draw some extra prize cards. The bonus thing about Shrine of Punishment is that we will have access to our escape board again. So let's go ahead and try Volkner out. Volkner can get a Stadium Nav. It can get a Lightning Energy. We do have a Lysander Labs yet. So we just need to get a heads. Considering this deck only plays 2 Shrine of Punishment and they've already played 1, we don't need to worry about the Dedenne anymore. Let's try to go for Stadium Nav. 1 heads, 2 heads. So we do have the Lysander Labs available to us. And we can simply just go retreat the Dedenne into a Raichu and a Alolan Raichu. We can now drop Lysander Labs. We can actually even just attach an energy to our Zapdos, and we have plenty of options to attack their Pokemon. So let's just go ahead and go Tandem Shock, Knockout. 160 damage is a lot to do 10 damage, but we are putting ourselves down to 2 prize cards. We just need to survive 2 more turns for our opponent to draw 4 prize cards, which seems very difficult for them to do. Now they can do some sniping damage with Mew, but I don't think it will actually be enough for them to win the game. The big thing our opponent can do is actually attack us with an Aerodactyl GX. If they are able to get out a Ditto Prism Star, it might be one of their 4 prize cards. So we'll see exactly how that goes for them. They actually evolved the Zebstrika from the Ditto Prism Star more and more that I'm looking at it. Okay. Looks like our opponent's just getting back some cards with Brock's Grits. Gonna sprint that hand away.
Oh,
Whole army of Spiritombs for us to try to take down. So you can see that this is actually a pretty good matchup for us. And there's 130. Pretty sure our opponent can't take 4 prize cards next turn anyways. If we are able to just knock out something, let's go ahead and knock out that Mew. Mew seems like the scariest thing for us to deal with. We can always just escape board our active just to get it out of our hands. Let's go ahead and energy switch this energy from there to there. And let's play a Cynthia to try to get a Zerora out. So we weren't able to get out a Zerora, but we were able to get out a switch into a Zapdos. So it's better to attack with a single prize card Pokemon. You can see we have a lot of damage on our Pokemon. 140, 170, 150, and 30 damage on that Dedenne. And I actually forgot our other Zerora wasn't our prize cards. So now that we have that, our opponent looks like they can't draw 4 prize cards in one turn. If they knock out our Zapdos, we just instantly get the knockout next turn. So we are definitely in a good position here to just win the game. Building Spite, so they're doing full max damage with the Spiritomb. You can see our Lysander Lab stuck in play for the majority of the game. And they're going to go Anguish Cry to knock that out, drawing only half the amount of prize cards, and we're going to be able to complete the game here. Let's just attack with this Pikachu Zekrom. Even if they had something like a Gumi, we would be able to knock it out. So there's an Electro Power to do some extra damage. And if we really had the option to use our GX attack, we could have used Tag Bolt GX if we hadn't used it earlier. So that was really cool. Let's go full blitz. There's a knockout. 10 damage. We're doing 180 though. And we win the series. So as you can see, this is actually not a bad matchup for the deck at all. Spiritomb can be quite inconsistent at times. And it was a deck that, while we saw it a little bit earlier on in the Unified Mind / Hidden Fates metagame, it's really not going to be that popular nowadays. There's also some new text that it might get from the new set, Cosmic Eclipse, when that comes out. So pay attention for that, because Spiritomb's a deck that can always survive. But in this case, it's really not that powerful anymore. That being said, I hope you learned a lot. And as always, ask me any questions during our coaching session. I love helping you out. I absolutely enjoy coaching you, Brandon. You're such a fun personality to hang out with. And I'm really proud to see how much you're learning. Thank you for watching these videos, and maybe in the future we'll create some more videos going over some different decks or whatever you're really interested in viewing in Pokemon. That being said, keep on training, keep on watching these videos if you need to go back and learn anything, if you forgot anything. And yeah, thanks so much. Have a great one, Brandon.